It's October 10th, 2019, 12:36 p.m. For the last, I'd say, 30 minutes, I've had troubles voice typing. It was working fluently, and then I started doing a video on targeted individuals, and next thing you know, I'm hearing a little bit of mumbles from the outside of the house, and the phone just keeps every word. It was down to every word that I was saying had cut off, trying to basically make me type out what I'm saying, or would have to type out. It just halfway did it. I got that far into the sentence and it stopped. Now I understand occasionally something like that happens. For the last couple of weeks, with all the other electronic interference that I'm having, they don't want me videotaping, typing, or anything else destructive of information that I'm collecting. He just commented on my profile too, again, an hour ago. So I was wondering, has he commented on your post lately? Lately. Question mark. Question mark. So if it does work, I should be able to type as quick as I wanted to and all the rest of the good stuff, and it should type out what I should. But then if I slow down with my speech, it ends up cutting off the situation that I'm talking. They unjammed the situation because it was jammed up to the point every single word in the last post, and I did a lengthy post. I understand voice recognition might have been trying to cut it off because I talk like a robot sometimes, but I'm gonna erase all that and do it again. Hi, wondering if you remember Chief Handler and his comments. He just commented on my video. Comments. He just commented comments. 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 Car tire. Tin can. Tin can. Dog and cat. Cat and dog. Cat, dog, rat, mouse, fish, dollar bill, coin, quarter, 7 cents. Started working all of a sudden. Thing is this not only happening on this phone, it's happening on both phones. And I have other people around me telling me their phones start becoming dysfunctional, like something's interfering with it. And some's like, that's never happened before. And a lot of the people that's around, like who was it? Strangers, don't know exactly who they are, or just to brush in every now and again with them. Wouldn't be able to reliably go find them and say, hey, you remember this? I mean, they'd probably remember it, but it's not a hard or a good, easy connection to make. Now, I understand technicalities, and everybody's like, well, maybe it's a technical error. You don't have as many technical errors as I've had in the last month, much less over the years, and someone threatening you, laughing, belittling, embarrassing, horseplaying, making sound effects as if they're associated and doing something wrong to you, as I do. Anyways, Gift Street, Walnut Street, Columbus, Ohio. That is gift as in present. Gift Street, Walnut Street, Columbus, Ohio. Rich Street, McDowell Street, Town Street, Columbus, Ohio. And I've invited people around without putting myself in danger. Can't be in any more danger than I kind of am already. Very well protected to a certain extent. is the way I feel. So I'm doing this for those who are concerned. Why don't you step into my shoes, or without making it into that situation? Because I've been uh, harassed and embarrassed myself now, and definitely don't want that situation happening. But anyways, um, but if you want to come in, or me travel to you to a point without catching myself up, or like I told everybody in multitudes of other videos, I'll post where I'm at, maybe like if I'm traveling, and you figure out, just like other perfectly good strangers said, he's been followed to where he's at right now. They're making it out that they're a part of this community, and they just showed up with him. And they isn't one person, it's a groups and groups of people. And these people are in there forcing against even communal power, and then enforcing loophole or supposedly legitimized situations. Thing is, it's not legitimate. It's like impostoring a police officer. What is it called? Imposter. Being an imposter of like law enforcement. It's illegal. And I've explained this situation. Law enforcement has been criminally charged of impostorating a police officer, even though they are certified police officers. They're not employed by the city, state, or the government at the moment. They're not employed, so it doesn't make them a police officer, for them to utilize the tactics that they've learned to enforce authoritative shit. So some of the authoritative stuff is just authoritative, even though it can become harassive. But no matter what, you have certified, trained people in here misconducting, but they can't be misconducting because they're not employed by a system. So it'd have to be a criminal crime that they're committing. And a lot of things I say at the whim because, oh, really? Laws work different places, and type situation. So it could be legal in one place, and it may not be. It's all about getting legal advice. But that also means incapacitation. I should be able to capacitate and take care of my own personal affairs. Somebody has interfered with personal affairs situation. Systematical situations, authoritative, have gotten involved in that prior many times. Well, I won't say many because it makes it look like I'm not a victim, that I've had help, and it hasn't been that much. But they have been involved and had found evidence of what I'm saying is true. There's also the harshness of the system of being corrupted, and people that's utilizing all of this situation to create traumatic stress, anxiety, to the point that personal physically manifests into physically hurting themselves, not even just mentally like suicide, but literally like having a heart attack, a stroke, overwhelming themselves to the point of like heat stroke and all the rest of the deterioration of physical health. They're intentionally doing this shit, weakening the people and myself. I don't want to just go out and say, hey, I'm a advocate for targeted individuals, but I've been through this shit, and some of it's actually been found out, and it isn't just an individual, it ain't just groups of people. It is still, mine has to do with law enforcement, government, and everything and under the sun, basically. Because some of those people took it upon themselves personally to orchestrate their own organizational type of situation, basically building an agency that doesn't exist. But there is legal rights and legal loopholes that allow them to do a lot of different things. The thing is they may be allowed to do some things, but like interstate stalking, everything they're doing is legal except for the stalking themselves. The act itself that could be proven, if it was proven by law enforcement, which also takes time to prove, and it has to go through a court system. So it's not going to actually detour to a certain extent of them stalking and performing what they want to, just like they've done with me. So I'm not just trying to get belief and proof, but I'm posting evidence of what kind of dumb shit is going on for later fact, so I can prove and say, hey, this is a timeline. Nobody could be legally profiling and trying to help anything out if you ain't putting the pieces together the right way, which has already been found out. I ridicule and criticize, you call it delusional, behaviorally wrong, and all the rest, when it's already been proven the corruption and the mishandling of law enforcement integrity itself, much less direct contact in situations involving myself not being corrupted, mishandled, misconducted, and to some certain extents completely obliteratedly should have been criminal charges, lawsuits, and everything else under the sun happening. And somebody's trying to detour and deter my ability to have any access or quality of life utilizing authoritative directives that are incorrect, while there's also law enforcement active and people that are active ridiculing the situation, embarrassing, causing more harm than help to be done. Anyways, 2 different phones, what a deal. Maybe I need 3 different phones to find out each and every phone through a damn system that 3 phones in a row are messed up. What I want to do is take one phone, give it to somebody, have them travel elsewhere, use it all day, screen record their shit, something like that. That way they're in a different area. But I've already tested some of that, and these guys are getting smart enough to follow up. And that's why people do not like being around me, because these people have caused chaos in everybody's life. Anyways, with that being said, I've tested it myself. I was in other cities. This has been 10 years ago with an MP3 recording player when they first came out, a Sansa. I jumped on a city bus spontaneously. I mean, literally fell into the bus, basically. The bus was passing by, and I was walking like I was going to normally walk, frustrated as I was being harassed, bugged, and called out. And I took the left step into the bus. As it was coming by, it just coincidentally stopped at that bus stop, and I took the left and got on the bus. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I paid anything. I was homeless at the time. I had very minimum of cash, and I told the bus driver I was being bothered and I needed to get home or some shit, and they allowed me to get on the bus. The MP3 player is the point. It was scrambling, it was doing all kinds of weird shit, all that, wouldn't record, kept cutting its recordings off, just like I've had multitudes of other devices doing. And this is in Baltimore, Maryland, not even Columbus, Ohio. So we're talking about, it isn't a local complaint. Somebody might be saying I'm brown-nosing because I'm completely somewhere else. And they're there with me. The association of their group is there with me. So you're bothering me, I'm not bothering them. But anyhow, I got on the bus. I took a trip to the fullest extent outside, basically it almost, I think, went outside city limits type of situation. It was one of the lengthier routes. And guess what? Within about 8 to 10 blocks of getting away from the people bothering me, the device half-ass started functioning again. They tried to follow the bus, and somehow it got messed up to the point they couldn't follow it, or they figured they was going to be caught and didn't follow it as much, or was jamming the whole time. I got off the bus an hour and a half later, I think it was, some shit like that. The device worked perfectly fine for well over 20 to 30 minutes. I was even doing recordings. 30 minutes later, started having difficulties. People started harassing me. You started hearing the verbalization, the supposedly schizophrenic voices. Nobody's there but hearing voices when they're hiding in bushes, around corners, or down the street, or even vehicular verbalization. Oh, we got you, we're in the area type of situation. Why would law enforcement need to jam, interfere with, or deter somebody from recording? If they're under investigation, as which they're trying to imply to myself, why would you fuck your own evidence up, and sorry about the lingo, or mess up your own legal evidence that you could utilize yourself? There is something wrong with that. That means there's corruption going on, and even if there is something wrong, you do not want your situation, you want it spotless to make yourself look badass when you really ain't. Corrupted, profound, victimizing, assaultive, brutalized, psychological brutality, not even just physical situations that these guys are doing. And I can't blame just law enforcement. Like I said, some of these people are people that may be associated. There's just too many people to deal with. It's organized in the maximum way, including when I was in Washington, D.C., the corrupt connections there, the coercive acts, the embarrassment, trying to get people to side with them, to gain more value, to have more power, and more force of control. Why would they need to jam any of these devices if you're out there doing something that you need legitimate evidence for? I'm building it myself. Why would you need to stop me from building my own evidence? And matter of fact, even if you're law enforcement, wouldn't that be corruption from detouring me from collecting evidence for a case for myself? If I'm the defendant, I still have a right to collect evidence, right? But they made it into a profound way that it's all legal actions, and then when it in the outcome, nothing was legal. I should be competent to understand that. Ha 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 ha. Really? Because that type of situation was caught in Colorado Springs, and a mental, psychological, communal assault. Police officers being arrested for joyriding around in police vehicles due to harassing other people. Little mimics, murmurs, slanders, a little bit of non-horse joke playing type of situation. You look like a retard, or people don't like you in the community. You having difficulties, I could help, but that's all on you. They got busted for that shit. Thing is with that, I relate in all my videos, some of their persuasion was understood of coming right directly from ground roots, Columbus, Ohio. How scary is that? Pit one and one together. Anyways, I'm going to end this video, and that's that. Once again, even though that wasn't the greatest, it seemed to have worked a little better as I was trying to prove it. But somebody's in here like, I don't give a shit, go ahead and try it. But every single word I said prior to doing this video, after it started having problems, would cut out. I've even shut the phone off, I've turned it off, turned it back on. It fixes it maybe for a minute or two, and then it starts up. Now, I've taken trips, because this has happened over the last couple of weeks, technically. I've taken trips, and it's worked fluently, no matter how I was speaking, even with the pause in my voice, type situation. It just kept on. It was fluent, like it used to be. Now, if I sat down somewhere, that catch-up game, like somebody's interfering, they have to catch up, or if they have to take some time so they don't get caught making it covert, and the next thing you know, I'm having not only cell phone problems, but there goes identifiable electronic problems that are happening, especially when you're building evidence. You have evidence, just like a security DVR, like I was explaining earlier, I do believe, with evidence from July 4th, someone talking about Al-Qaeda and them being associated. Next thing you know, 3 days later, my security DVR system gives out. The cam or the cam server on my phones start faulting out. Videos, I had a SD card after making all those complaints and saying, hey, don't have any proof, but I think it's happening. An SD card completely being wiped out. Literally, not just deleted in format, wiped out, non-functional for right now. I'll go ahead and end the video on that note. targetofunlawfulacts.com. Peace. Don't know what I'm doing with it. It's just, I won't say a hobby, but hopefully I get some good information up there. I don't want to make a whiny baby type of channel, but technically I'm supporting myself first, and then when I get myself built up, hopefully I can offer some information and help to others that are going through the same abuse, neglect, terrorizing, harassing, obliterating life problems that I have. Completely detrifying even a psychologist that works for the county, so that's government involved. It's not just a personal private, so it may have a little more wing to it, saying the things that are happening to you, even though it's not a gun, a real physical gun against your head, are still life-threatening, no different than an actual physical gun, and then someone threatening to pull the trigger on you. It is so detrimental, it is so detrifying, should I say. It is so horrible that even the psychiatrist spoke up about it. That's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and press stop on this video.